Big up everyone. What is happening? TLP, the Liverpool Prophet, back again with another live stream. Again, as per usual. Hope you guys can hear me. I think you guys should be able to hear me. If not, do let me know down below in the comment section. But yeah, people, I'm back again with another live. We're on a roll, people. We are on a roll. We're just going to continue going live each and every day and see where it goes. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying interacting with the audience, the people. Just enjoying going live. Don't know why I didn't do this sooner. Don't know why I was so adamant on doing pre-recorded videos. But no, I think live streams are definitely the way to go going forward. 110%. They are definitely the way to go. So yeah, people, today just gonna be doing the usual bit of football talk. Gonna look ahead a little bit, not too much, but a little bit to the Nottingham Forest game tomorrow. Big up Dan bro. Big up yourself, man. Hope you are well. Big up Dan absolute legend. Gonna be looking a little bit ahead to the Forest game on Saturday. Not too much though. I'm going to be dropping a preview for the game tomorrow, so I'll give my full thoughts there. But we'll do an early look ahead to that. Talk about, can Liverpool find a little bit of consistency in the Premier League? Can we find ourselves, etc. Let's have a look. And we'll talk a little bit about yesterday's result as well. We'll talk a bit about Arsenal. And we'll talk a little bit about the whole title race thing, because I can't lie, looks like it's happening again, people. It looks like Arsenal are bottling it again. And I hate to say that, because I actually want Arsenal to win the league and I actually like them quite a lot. The real Arsenal fans, not the other fans, the Arteta, the Arteta. See, I don't want to use the inappropriate word. The Arteta fanboys, I don't class them as Arsenal fans. I class them as Arteta fans. But for the real Arsenal fans, I kind of feel bad, because I do like them. I like the club, and I like to see them win. But it looks like they just don't have the courage. They don't have the courage or the cojones. So we'll talk a bit about that. But yeah, Dantrum, if you can hear me, let me know, bro. I just want to make sure I can be heard, and there's no problem with the sound. But yeah, people, we'll start with a bit of football talk in general. I'm gonna be honest, people. I'm a little bit disappointed with football recently. I'm a little bit disappointed with the way the whole Vinicius Junior situation was dealt with. Benfica have had 2 days now, yesterday and today, to do something about this, and they've done nothing. They've done nothing. In fact, they've actually defended their player, which is a disgrace. I'm sorry, Benfica should have made an example out of that player. That player should be banned for life. The club should get a huge fine, and the player should also get a huge fine. But what's going on? FIFA are corrupt, UEFA are corrupt, everyone is corrupt up there. They don't care. They don't care at the end of the day. That's just the way it is. It's just the way that it is. I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked, and I think football this week has had a bit of a dip. We've seen the horrible side of football, the side that we don't want to see coming out, and it's a stain. It's not going to be forgotten, because the internet is there. You know, we live in an age and an era now where everything gets put on the internet. So this can't be deleted. It's always going to be there. People are always going to know that that player was racist and this happened, etc. In the 90s, in the 80s, you maybe could have gotten away with this because there was no digital devices or anything like that. Now, everything goes on YouTube, people. Everything goes on YouTube. Everything goes on TikTok. Everything goes on Twitter, Facebook. It's not going away. Big up Boss the Blue, brother. Big up your damn self. Big up Boss the Blue, man. Absolute legend in the building. Big up yourself, man. Just talking a bit about football in general, man. I'm still not too happy with the whole Vinicius Junior situation. I can't lie. Benfica have had 2 days to do something about it, to put something in place. You know, make an example out of the player, but they haven't. They haven't done that, and I can't lie. Mourinho as well, man. Jose Mourinho, someone who I actually respected. You know, as a manager up until Tuesday night. But I can't lie, my respect for Mourinho has gone as well. My respect for Jose Mourinho has massively gone. He came out and kind of condoned it. He came out and he was trying to deflect it all and talk about Vinicius Junior celebration. Yeah, I hear that player got called up to national team. Oh wow, crazy, bro, crazy. But again, bro, it's just not good. It's not good. It's not good, man. Mourinho should have said straight up, considering Mourinho is someone who's known for not liking racism and for someone who's very against it, as we all are. He should have said it how it is. He should have come out straight and said, my player was wrong. We're going to deal with this, and it is going to be sorted out and dealt with in the correct manner. However, what does he do? He comes out after the game and he focuses on Vinicius Jr., saying Vinicius Jr. should not have wound up the fans with his celebration. I'm sorry, whatever, cool. Whatever. He celebrated, he took the mick. That ain't no excuse to fucking be racist towards him, is it? It's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke, Pete. It's a joke, man. A joke. And yeah, I actually wanted Benfica to win that game. I can't lie. Before the whole incident, I wanted Benfica to knock Madrid out. After the incident, now I'm hoping that they lose. I'm glad that they lost the game on Tuesday. And I hope that they get absolutely smashed at the Bernabeu next week. I hope they get absolutely taken to the sword. What a world we live in, people. What a sick, twisted, crazy world we live in. You know, you can be racist and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? No repercussions. You can do anything and get away with it nowadays. It's mad. Absolutely mad, man. You know, we should be talking about football in general, how good football is, etc. Instead, we got to talk about fucking racism in big 2026, you know. I'm not going to lie, but it's really, really pissed me off, man. It's really pissed me off. Mourinho is also suspended. Yeah, he got a red card, didn't he, Danson? He got a red card, so he ain't going to be on the touchline for next week's game. Probably a good thing as well, because he'd get absolutely scrutinised by the Madrid fans. If that player plays, Danson, if that player plays next weekend at the Bernabeu, he is going to get absolutely rinsed. And rightly so as well. Rightly so. Hopefully, he gets absolutely rinsed. I just throw him out to the Wolves, I can't lie. I would throw that guy out to the Wolves and let him get eaten. And again, back to the Mourinho thing, Dancho. If he's not going to... if the okay, bare minimum, the player should have gotten sent off. He should have been red carded and sent off the pitch. Bare minimum, right? He should have been red carded. He wasn't red carded. That is a disgrace in itself, the fact that he wasn't red carded. Okay. Mourinho should have at least had the know-how and the common knowledge, common sense to take that guy off the pitch. Get him off the pitch. Sub him off. He didn't even do that. He left him on the pitch the whole 90. Vinicius Jr. is a horrible football player. I agree. He's not a great player. He's a giant baby. I agree. He's a giant baby, bro. He throws his toys at the pram a lot. He could never hack it in the Prem. Yep, but no. But exactly, boss the blue, bro. Exactly, bro. Boss the blue, 100%. We always take football away from people's personal lives. You know what I'm saying? You can abuse it, or you can. I say abuse. You can come after a player. You know, you can call a player crap, shit, everything, but you never ever insult a player by getting personal with them. You never go after their family. You never go after their race. There's lines you don't cross, and that is one of them. That is fucking one of them. Benfica as an institution should tear up his contract. They should tear up his contract, bro. They should tear up his contract. He should be banned, bro. Boss W. He should be banned. Ban him for life from playing football. I give him a huge ass fine and also tear up his contract. That's what should happen, because this can't be continued. This cannot continue. You know, the amount of players that have just gotten away with this over the years with no repercussions, no consequences for their actions. It's mental. You know what I'm saying? Suarez, bro. Suarez for years. I hate Suarez personally. A lot of Liverpool fans live up that guy's backside. I don't. I don't live up his backside. I think he's a horrible, disgusting piece of shit of a human being, if you ask me. I'm saying the fact that Suarez did what he did to Evra and he wasn't banned for life is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Liverpool fans love that guy, it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with me at all. So it's been going back since then. Even before that, to be fair, let's be honest about it. Even before that, it's been going on. And the problem is, again, I'll go back to what I say. It doesn't get dealt with. No one deals with it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get dealt with in the correct manner. And until that happens, we're going to be sat here. And in a couple months' time, in a couple weeks' time, even potentially, it'll happen to another player. It might be someone else in the Premier League. It might be in the Serie A. It might be in the Bundesliga. We don't know. But it will happen again. I have no problem with players getting under each other's skin. It's yet the same. That's what passion and dedication to the game is about. Facts. There's a line between passion. Yeah, exactly. Boss W, exactly, bro. You know what I'm saying? And racism is dick behaviour. Not even dick behaviour. It's scum of the earth behaviour. Coming after someone's family personally as well. That's something I don't agree with. But again, it just goes to show that that player has always been a racist. You know what I'm saying? If you're angry, if you're livid, and your first thought is to say something racial to someone, it's already inside you. It just comes out when you're angry. You know what I'm saying? I've been livid at times with players, livid. Never once has a racial thought crossed my mind. Never once has that happened because I was not raised like that. I was raised correctly. If your first instinct in your mind when you're annoyed is to be racial towards someone, that's a problem. That shows that you're a fucked up person. You know what I'm saying? We all bleed the same blood. We all bleed red. I cut myself now, it'll come out red. Anyone in the world can cut themselves, they'll cut it, the blood comes out red. Why are people still discriminating against skin colors? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Crazy. Benfica as a club should be shut down. I can't even lie, man. They've dealt with this in a very, very poor manner. Like I said, 2 days. They've had 2 days to sort this out and come to some sort of compromise or agreement on it. And they haven't done that. They haven't. You know, they've just sat around, done nothing, trying to defend the guy's behaviour. Mourinho's come out defending the guy's behaviour. Yeah, bro, Benfica have lost a lot of respect for me. Not that I had much for them anyway, to be fair. But yeah, you know, they are a club that everyone is going to look at that and how they dealt with it and think, you know what? That club is a disgrace. And they are, let's be honest. You know I'm saying they are. You reckon Jose will get asked? I think he will, Boss the Blue. He will. He will, man. 100%. I think he will get asked questions. It'll be interesting to see if he starts that player next weekend, Boss the Blue. If that player travels to Spain, will he start that player in that game? Because if he does, that player is going to get scrutinised. He's going to be absolutely thrown out to the wolves. And I'd do it personally. You know, let that player get all the hate and abuse that comes his way. So it'll be interesting what questions they ask Mourinho and what answers he gives. But it'll be very interesting to see if he actually has the balls to start that player, because I wouldn't. I'm saying I would have subbed him off after the game. If my player did that and he wasn't sent off, I'm taking him off the pitch straight away and I'm having words with him in the changing room. Big words. And it goes back to what I said. The players actually, I read a statement yesterday. Someone sent me a statement on in the WhatsApp group. And apparently the player has denied any sort of racial involvement. Apparently he said Vinicius Jr. misunderstood him. He never said anything racist. Well, cool, okay. If you're not saying something, okay, look, if I cover my mouth like that, for example, right, if I do that and I say something, it's because I know I'm saying something I shouldn't be saying. That's just how it is. You don't cover your mouth and say something unless you know you shouldn't be saying it. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to call someone a prick, if you're going to call someone a cunt, if you're going to call someone a dickhead, you just say it like I did, like that. If you do it like that, it's obviously something worse and something that shouldn't be said. Otherwise, you wouldn't cover your mouth. And Thierry Henry said it perfectly as well. Coward. Why are you covering your mouth if you've got nothing to hide? I'm sure players call each other pricks on the pitch all the time. I'm sure they call each other dicks. I'm sure they call each other cunts. When you do that, you're saying something you shouldn't be saying. And he was definitely saying something he shouldn't be saying. He can deny it all he wants now. He can deny it all he wants. It's there. It's out there. Everyone knows he's a racist. He's finished. It's not he gets subbed, he loses his job. Players clearly don't have any professionalism. Players instructed. They are instructed. But the Benfica fans were a disgrace as well. Let's be honest, Boss the Blue. They were a disgrace, man. They were actually trying to fight the Madrid players over that. Like, you're trying to defend the guy who's racist, bro. You know what I'm saying? Their players were a disgrace. Mourinho was a disgrace. And the fans as well, bro. The fans were a big disgrace too. I heard that they were cheering that player off as well. I heard they were actually cheering my man off after he left that pitch. What are you doing? You're cheering a racist off the pitch. You're cheering a racist off the pitch. What? On top of that, bro, Vinicius was getting abused all game from their fans. They were throwing stuff on the pitch at him, etc. Just very, very Tim Pot and disgraceful behaviour. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about fans from England. You rarely get that happening here. You do, but it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Too much for my liking as well. This whole situation what's annoyed me is the fact that it's happened. But what's annoyed me even worse, and I think a lot of people agree as well. What's annoyed me even worse is the fact that no one's dealt with it properly. No one has dealt with it properly. And I don't see enough people speaking out about it. It's a shame because Benfica have given some good players and good moments to the world of football. This moment spoils not just how. Exactly, Boss the Blue. The future of Benfica is bleak now because of this. It is bleak. You know what I'm saying? If they dealt with this correctly, everything could have been fine. But they haven't dealt with it correctly. Because they've dealt with it in the manner that they have, they're going to lose a lot of respect in the world of football from a lot, and I mean a lot of clubs. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's happened for too long, and it's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen unless something's done about it. UEFA as well. I haven't seen them. They're going to do an investigation. Okay, cool. Whatever. Every time this happens, they do an investigation. And then they expect us to just forget about it. Apparently. It was, bro. That was an utter disgrace to throwing stuff at him before the corner. The Benfica fan base hasn't even come out to apologise. They haven't. They haven't. The players haven't come out and apologised. In fact, they're all trying to defend the guy. Absolute scumbags. The whole lot of them are scumbags. He's a scumbag. Their players are scumbags. The fans are scumbags. And I'm tempted to call Mourinho a scumbag as well. I can't lie. I'm tempted to call Mourinho a scumbag too. I'm saying I don't care. Mourinho is one of the greats. He's done all this in the game. I don't give a crap, man. You defend that shit. For me, you lose all respect for myself anyway. And yeah, say no to racism, man. Say no to racism. Fucking, I'm livid. I'm livid, man. I'm livid. But like I said, I'm more livid with the fact that nothing's been done about it again. Because you know what? Give it a couple months, maybe even a couple of weeks. We'll see it again. Maybe in the Premier League this time to another player. The Bundesliga, the Serie A, the French League, La Liga. We'll see it again. We are going to see it again. You know, if it's not a player on the pitch, it's going to be a fan in the ground. If it's not a fan in the ground, it's going to be a steward. If it's not a steward, it could be a ref. Because refs have done it as well. Refs have done it before. Yeah, just because you win a lot doesn't give you the right to call not call. Exactly, Boss the Blue. Exactly. All he had to say was, it's uncondolable what my player did. We're going to have words, and this is going to be dealt with in the correct manner. That's all he had to say. Instead, he does what he does. And you know what? The players that Mourinho's close with, I'm sure Drogba is going to lose a lot of respect for Mourinho. I'm sure Didier Drogba will see that, and he won't be too keen on that himself. He's going to lose a lot of respect for Mourinho. Jose is a scum. He is, bro. I can't lie. He is. He is a scum, man. I don't care. He's one of the greats. I don't care. The special one BS. Would Pep condone that? Would Klopp condone that? Would Ancelotti condone that? You know, Klopp's spoken about racism before in the past. Pep's spoken out about it. Ancelotti's spoken out about it. I'm saying, would any other manager in world football have condoned that? Let's be honest. Would any other manager in world football have condoned that behaviour? I don't think so. Because I've seen my manager in the past come out about it and say stuff and say it's wrong. I'm saying, why does he feel the need to fucking protect that scumbag? There was a fan in a wheelchair at Anfield who was shouting racist stuff at one of the players. He got treated the same. All racists get treated for that for stadium permit. Yeah, but it was an opening game of the season against Bournemouth. Semenyo was the player that was abused. Yeah, but he got dealt with the same way. He got kicked out of the stadium. I think he's banned as well permanently. I'm saying, but again, Boss the Blue, I think we need to make an example out of these people, in my opinion. Make an example out of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, ban them from the stadium, ban them from games for life. That's the minimum. That's what happened. But put their names out there too. Put their picture out there. Put their name out there. So they have to live with that same for the rest of their life, knowing that wherever they go, they'll be seen as a racist. They'll be known for being a racist. You know what I'm saying? Put them to shame. That way they'll never, ever think about doing it again. Because at the end of the day, you ban someone from the stadium, cool, and you ban them from games, cool. But they're still protected. Their name is still not out there. We still don't know who they are and what they look like. If you put people to shame, very quickly people will change their tune. Very, very quickly. I'm not a fan of Vinicius Jr. I think he's very overly rated. I think he's a bit of a prick, I can't lie. I think he's a bit of a dickhead. But you know what? Never, ever does a player deserve racial abuse. And especially, well, anyone should deserve racial abuse. So I think he dealt with that in the correct way. He went off the pitch. And he kicked off rightly so. He kicked off rightly so. Didn't know you felt so passionately about it. People like you will keep not just the game but society moving. Appreciate that, Boss W. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate. It's just it's bad enough that it happened, but what makes it even worse is the fact that nothing got done about it, and the fact that people defend it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's bad enough being racist in itself, but what makes it even worse is when you get people just defending that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what doesn't sit well with me. You know, racism doesn't sit well with me. People defending racism doesn't sit well with me. And you can ask anyone, Boss W, Rasta, Vigilante. I'm sure they'll all feel the same way about it. Ask King. I'm sure they'll all feel the same way. Yeah, say no to racism, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens going forward with this. UEFA said they're going to launch an investigation. We'll see what they do. We'll see what comes up, etc. Who knows what the fuck's going to come up? Who knows what they're going to find? I don't expect anything to get done about it personally. They always say they'll do an investigation, and the investigation leads absolutely nowhere. But it'll just happen again in the future. And unfortunately, I think we live in a world where no matter what we do, it's always going to be there, no matter what. There's always going to be some uneducated, uncultured swine that is racist. There always is. I'm going to be honest about it. But moving on, people. Moving on. Apologies for the 21-minute rant there. I did not mean to go on a rant there, but it's just angered me, man. The whole situation has just angered me. What's angered me more, like I said, is again, nothing getting done about it. Yeah, exactly. The whole of last year, players took the knee, especially in Rocio. Yeah, bro. Exactly. The fact we can do that and still it happens is mad. You know what I'm saying? Mad. Boss W, refs have done it in the past. I'm sure refs have racially abused players in the past. I remember, was it in lockdown? Was it PSG Leipzig game where someone was racially abused? Semenyo. Vinicius Junior's had it happen numerous times. He had it at Valencia a year ago, I think. Other players too. You know what I'm saying? It happens a lot and too much. It's been going on for too long. Let's be honest. It's been going on for way, way too long. But yeah, people. Atletico Madrid as well. Yeah, bro. Atletico Madrid as well. Atletico Madrid as well. I remember at Anfield when we played Atletico Madrid I think it was at the beginning of the season, and I think the Atletico Madrid fans were chanting some racial slurs at the Liverpool bench in that game when we beat them 3-2 at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I think the Atletico fans were chanting racial slurs at our bench, and again that didn't get dealt with properly either. Yeah, Boss W, fucking Enzo Fernandez, the scumbag on the bus in Argentina too. So again, he's still playing football for Chelsea. And is he Chelsea captain as well? If I'm correct. Is he not Chelsea's captain? Again, how is he even playing football? How is Enzo Fernandez even playing football still? Reece James, yeah, Reece James, my bad. Yeah. How is he even playing football? See what I mean, people? See what I mean? It was the whole Argentina bus as well, wasn't it, Boss W? If I correct myself, it was the whole Argentina bus singing them chants, and I think it was after they won the World Cup too. So, yeah. What can we say, man? What can we say? We live in a fucked up world and society. But moving on from the racism thing, people, I think I've said my piece on that. I can only do so much as a content creator. I can only say so much. End of the day, my opinion's not going to go out there. My opinion's not going to matter, etc. So I can only be vocal about it online as much as I can on YouTube. You know, if this falls into the right hands, maybe, who knows? But yeah, as a content creator, there's only so much I can do about this type of stuff. Only so much. But yeah, moving on from that, let's talk a little bit about football and people in general. Let's talk a bit about football before I get into the Liverpool Forest game. Ask me some questions, whatever you want about ball. I'll do my best to answer. Liverpool related, United related, whatever. Let's try and lighten the mood up a little bit more going forward. But yeah, it's been a bit of a well, it was a crazy night last night. Let's be honest. Arsenal end up going away to Wolves and dropping points. Didn't expect that to happen. Um, some of the Champions League games were pretty decent as well. I think it was a Club Brugge Atletico that ended 3-2 to Atletico Madrid. 5 goals in that game, so that was a decent watch. The Inter lost as well to Bodo Glimt, if I'm correct, which is a bit of a shock. So a decent night of football, I can't lie. I disagree. The more people speak out, the more weight the argument has. Racism has no place in the game, which is for everyone, 100%, bro. 100%. And I'm glad that you see it the same way as well, Boss W. I'm glad that you see it the same way. Keep speaking out, bro. I will, bro. I will. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. But yeah, should we talk a bit about Arsenal then? Should we talk a bit about Arsenal's result yesterday? Arsenal 2, well, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Arsenal 2, Wolves were the home team. I'm not going to lie, that is concerning. If I'm an Arsenal fan, that is very, very, very concerning. Arsenal dropping points, United's title race lives. I'm not sure how much points you are behind them, but it's not a lot from what I saw. Not a lot. So, yeah, Arsenal 2, Wolves 2. Let's just bring up, actually, forget it. We'll talk a bit about the game first before I bring up the stats and that. But yeah, Arsenal were 2-0 up in the game as well. 2-0 up. And they bottled it. Somehow they bottled it. Crazy. Right? Absolutely crazy. Arsenal are dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Time wasting. Oh, bro. It's a disgrace. That's pathetic, bro. Trossard. Bro, it's pathetic. Trossard is a disgrace, I agree. Pathetic, Boss W. 20th place Wolves, who have got 8 points in the league. They're getting relegated. Their relegation in a couple of weeks will probably be confirmed. You're time wasting and playing for corners against the bottom of the table Wolves. And you're top of the table. How pathetic is that, man? How pathetic is that, right? They don't play football, Arsenal. They do not play football. After the first 20 minutes, they stop playing. They don't want the ball. They want other teams to have the ball, and they get everyone else behind the ball. You know what I'm saying? I remember Arsenal back in the day under Wenger. Back in the day, if you wanted to watch good football, they were the team to watch because prime Wenger ball was something else. Look at the football they play now. It's not. I say football. It's not even football that they play. Mind games, the dark arts is what I call it. All Arsenal ever do in games: look for set pieces, look for a corner, look for a free kick, look for a throw-in. 3 things that they look for in games. If we can win a free kick, we get a free kick. If we can get a corner, get a corner. If we get throw-ins, get throw-ins. That's all they do. Against Leeds, inside the first 20 minutes, they were doing long throw-ins into the box. You don't do a long throw-in in the box until the end of the game. Say you need an equaliser or a late winner. They're doing it 20 minutes into a game against Leeds United. Arsenal were lucky. Arsenal were lucky to win at the Emirates against Wolves. They were. Boston Blue, they were. They needed 2 on goals. Correct me if I'm wrong. To beat Wolves at the Emirates. They weren't good. They weren't good against them in the reverse fixture either. And they take forever to take throw-ins, to take about 7-8 yards before putting it back in play. 200%. They just don't play football. And I agree with King. I agree with Rasta. I agree with Vidge. Well, Rasta probably wants Arsenal to win it. I agree with Vidge and King. If Arsenal win this league, it'll be very, very bad. It'll be a very bad look for football because they're going to then become the benchmark for a lot of Premier League teams. A lot of Premier League teams will look at Arsenal's style of play and try and replicate it. We've seen it with Pep. Pep's dominated this league for so long. And now every manager in world football, bar the exception of 1 or 2, want to play the way Pep plays football. It's ruined the game. If Arsenal win the league, it's going to ruin the game. Teams are going to start looking up to them as an example, as a benchmark. And that's what you do not want. I'll be honest, you don't want that to happen. If they win the league, I'll congratulate them because they've been the best team in the league. But if they don't, again, I won't be too upset because I think at the end of the day, it'll be a disaster and a very, very poor look for English football if they do. I think Manchester City has to take advantage now, a game in hand, and Arsenal still has to go to jail. A tantrum. Manchester City probably can't believe their luck this season. They cannot believe their luck because they've been poor. They've been very, very poor. This is a very poor Manchester City side. Probably the worst City side that's been in the title race ever. And that's not me being harsh. I think it's truth. They are so bad this year. and they're gonna win the league most likely because they're gonna win the game in hand, and then they're gonna beat Arsenal at the Etihad. 2 London derbies for back to back. Boss the Blue back to back as well, back to back. So they play Spurs this weekend away, then they play Chelsea at home after that. I think Manchester City has to take it. They have to, bro. I think City's game they got Newcastle at home this weekend. They'll absolutely destroy them. That'll be light work for them. And I'll be honest, Arsenal are not going to go to the Etihad and win, even if they need to, because Arteta is incredibly stubborn. He's an incredibly stubborn manager, an incredibly stubborn guy. He won't change his style of play at all. So even if they need to win, he'll still go there for a draw. But Boss the Blue, Spurs away this weekend, and then Chelsea at home the week after that. I'm going to be honest. Could Spurs have something for Arsenal? Could they? I know Spurs haven't beaten Arsenal in the league for a good while now. I think 2022 was the last time they beat them in the league at their ground 3-0, back when Conte was manager. Ange didn't win a game against Arsenal in his tenure. Frank didn't win a game against Arsenal. Well, he only had one game against them, to be fair. But yeah, they don't do well against Arsenal. Arsenal usually make them their bitches. So I think, I'm going to be honest, as much as I'd like to see Spurs do something, I think this will be the perfect weekend and game for Arsenal to bounce back in. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get like a 3-0 win. I can't lie, possibly. Chelsea after that will be interesting. Because I'll be honest, Chelsea in the Cups against Arsenal, the 2 cup games, the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, were very disappointing, especially in the second leg. Are they going to want revenge? Are they going to want to put that right? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows, man? But Chelsea need to go for the top 4 as well, don't they? Because they're in the top 4 race, so they're going to need the points. So we'll settle for a good game. What happens with Liverpool this season? Are you all back, you think? Topic change. Are Liverpool back this season? No, we're not back, bro. We're not back. We're just doing... Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad. You know what I'm saying? We play better in the Champions League. We play better on a European night than we do in the Premier League. Our last 2 games that we've won, Sunderland away, which was a decent one, and then Brighton in the Cup. I don't really look too much into the Brighton game because at the end of the day, it was a cup tie. And again, it's not a league game. But our league form isn't good, I'll be honest. 6 wins, I believe we have, since September, Boss the Blue. Since the first 5 games, we've got 6 league wins, and it's not been good. Now, our season has massively taken a dip, in my opinion. We're not back. We are not back. I'm hoping, Boss the Blue, for me, I hope we can get top 4 and win a trophy. If we get top 4 and win the FA Cup, it's not ideal. I won't be. It's not something to celebrate, but at least we won something. You know what I'm saying? Then we say our goodbyes to Slot in the summer. We bring in a new manager. That's what I do personally. So I'm just hoping he can get us top 4 and win the FA Cup. I don't think we win the Champions League. I don't think we're good enough to win that. I think there's much better teams in there, much stronger teams in there that will win that. But never say never. Because, on a European night, in the UCL, we can always produce magic. You deserve top 4. Hell no, bro. Hell no. Boss the Blue, we do not deserve top 4. Not with the way we played this season. We do not deserve it at all. But then again, do United deserve top 4 with the way they've been playing? Probably more so than that we do. Chelsea probably deserve it more so than we do. Out of all the teams, Villa, Chelsea, United, Liverpool, I'd say we're the ones who deserve it the least. You know what I'm saying? Will we get it though? Genuinely, I don't know. I think our last 4 games are going to stitch us up. I can't lie. We play United away, then we play Chelsea at home, then we play Villa away. I think them 3 games are going to stitch us up, and they're all back to back as well. United, Chelsea, Villa, all 3 of our top 4 rivals playing back to back towards the end of the season. I can't lie. I don't know about you, Boss W. I think that's a recipe for disaster still. United at Old Trafford, Chelsea at Anfield, Aston Villa at Villa Park. I think that's going to stitch us up. I can't lie. I think that will stitch us up. I get why I think the club want to stick with Slot because they feel like Slot is we have a better chance of getting top 4 with him. But I'd argue that we have a better chance without him. I can't lie. Bringing it into him, maybe we'll be better off. I reckon when we play y'all, it's going to be a great game. Boss W, I'm not going to lie, bro. You should win that. You should be winning that game because Liverpool's record at Old Trafford isn't great. It's not a good record. A lot of draws, a couple of losses in there, mainly draws though. I think Klopp only won 2 games at Old Trafford in his whole tenure at Liverpool. One was the 4-2 in the COVID season. The other was the 5-0. Slot won there last year again, but that was Ten Hag, wasn't it? So our record isn't good against United at Old Trafford. In general, our record against United since the 7-0 hasn't been good. You had a 0-0 draw. You had a 2-2 draw. You beat us in the FA Cup 4-3. Last season, we beat you 3-0, 2-2 in the league again. This season, 2-1. It's not been good. It's been very, very poor since we played each other and we won 7-0. So, I don't have much confidence going to Old Trafford. I think United should be favourites. I think they should be confident. But for me, what I've noticed this season, when I've had low expectation going into games, when I've had no belief, that's when we usually get a result. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal away, I had no belief going into that game. Thought we would get slapped. We won. We got a 0-0 draw. What else? Didn't have no belief going into the Inter Milan game away. We won 1-0. Sunderland, no belief. We won 1-0. Whatever games that we played this season that we won. A lot of games this season I've had no belief in, and we've gone and gotten results in. It's the games that I actually have belief in, and I believe in, and I have a good feeling about is the ones that we don't win. Burnley at home should be a 3 points, right? We don't win. You know what I'm saying? United at home. Look, United at home is the one. United home and away. I don't know about you, Boss W. I don't know what you think yet, but for me, I can take a loss to anyone. You know what I'm saying? I can take a loss against Arsenal. I can take a loss against Tottenham. I can take it against Chelsea. There's 2 teams in world football that I will never accept losing to ever, and that is Manchester United and Everton, home and away. I don't care what the fuck we have to do. You win them 4 games every single season. That's the one game I'll never accept losing. The 2 games. Everton home and away, United home and away. If we do, I'm gonna go livid. If you disregard the wages, would you keep Salah? And some sense Slot is the problem. I'm gonna be honest, Boss W. Slot is a problem, yeah, and he's definitely not helping the situation. But I also feel like Salah is a problem too. I think looking back on it, maybe we've kept Salah a little bit, a year more than we should have. Last year he was insane. His numbers were insane. Not going to argue with it. He was brilliant. This season, massive drop off. At the beginning of the year, you think, okay, maybe he's dealing with some stuff. Maybe he's taking a while to get up to speed. That's not the case now, bro, because we're halfway through the season. And he's had maybe 2 good games this season. Max, I think he's had about 2 good games. Villa at home. Brighton as well in the cup. Other than that, very poor. So for me, would I keep Salah? I'd sell him in the summer. I'd sell him to Saudi Arabia and use the money we get from them to reinvest it into our squad. Will he go? I think he will. I think he will go. Although he signed for 2 years, I think he does this year and goes. But yeah, I think the best scenario, Boss W, for me, get rid of Salah and get rid of Slot. They both need to go. How much you want for Salah? Well, bro, how much is Saudi Arabia going to give us? Because I'll be honest, it looks like Ronaldo could be leaving Saudi Arabia this season. It looks like he could be off on his way. So, if he's off on his way, if he leaves, I'm going to be honest, they're going to want Salah because they're going to want him to be the face of their league. So, I know for a fact, Boss W, the Saudi Arabian league will pay anything for someone if they want it. So, if we're smart, we could really fleece a high price out of them for Salah and then use that money to reinvest into the squad. That's what I said we should have done when in Slot's first year in the summer. I thought we should, obviously in hindsight, we didn't sell him and it was a good thing, but that's what I said. Get a huge fee for Mohamed Salah from Saudi Arabia and use it to reinvest in the squad. It's smart business in my opinion. So how much do I want for him? I'll take as much as I can get. Honestly, bro. Salah leaving also will help the squad in terms of gel and chemistry. Would you hold Alisson and Van Dijk to the same standards? I think Van Dijk will do 1 more year, bro. I think with Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, they're our main 3 really. From 2018, from when our dominance kind of started, if you want to say. They're the 3 that helped us and have been here since then. Salah, I think he goes in the summer, 100%. Van Dijk, I think he'll do next season. then I think he'll go. I think the centre backs we bring in the summer probably spend a year learning off Virgil. As for Alisson, I wouldn't be looking to get rid of him anytime soon. For me, Alisson's still the best goalkeeper in the world. I think he's been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last since 2018. Really, for me, yeah, I've never had an issue with our goalkeeper because we've got the best there, in my opinion. And with goalkeepers, Boss the Blue, you know they can play for a long, long time. You look at Neuer at Bayern Munich. He's 41, I think, I believe, and he's still their number one keeper. He's still their number one goalkeeper at 41, going strong still as well. Not as good as he was in his prime, of course, but still a very good keeper. So I've got confidence if Alisson can maintain his style of living, his standard of living, he can go to a 40 plus. So yeah, I wouldn't be getting rid of Alisson, I can't lie. I think he's got another good couple of years left. But will the club see it that way? I don't know. The club might not see it like that. So we'll see what happens, but I wouldn't be getting rid of Ali, best keeper in the world, man. You know, that's one player that I'll never hear any disrespect towards. I take Salah disrespect from rivals. I take Van Dijk disrespect from rivals. If anyone comes for Alisson, I'm on smoke, I can't lie. We'll be 40 next month. No, yeah. Danstrom, that's mad, bro. He's going to be 40 next month, and he's still their number one keeper as well. You know, I'd have thought they'd at least move him to the backup position and then bring in someone else, but he's still Bayern Munich's number one goalkeeper at 39. That's crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Manuel Neuer, you know, big up Neuer, man. Absolute legend in the game. You know, I remember how good he was in his prime as well. I watched Neuer's prime years. Are you happy with your higher ups at the club? Boss W says, I'm happy with our higher ups. Well, look, bro, I can't really say nothing against the owners. FSG, there's only one thing I've really criticised FSG for, because that's the main thing that they're bad at, spending money. I think when you take spending money out the equation, I think they're relatively good owners. I think FSG are relatively good owners. I think they run the club well. It's always money, the problem. They don't spend enough, in my opinion. This summer they did that. They spent enough. They spent big. They got the manager what he wanted. They backed him. So I'm sorry. You've got to take them out of the equation this year. You cannot give no blame to them this season for what's happened. Normally, I'd be sat here in a year saying, yeah, it's FSG. They haven't backed Klopp, this, that. Yeah, they're part of the problem. They've backed Slot. I can't say nothing against them. So they actually get a free hit for me this season at least. I'm more unhappy with our two sporting directors, Boss W, if I'm honest with you. I'm more unhappy with Hughes and Edwards because at the end of the day, you know, FSG aren't really running the football side of things. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of just in the background now. Hughes and Edwards have the task of overseeing everything football related, the club transfers, etc. FSG kind of just sign off on everything. So for me, they're the real problem, and they're the ones I'm not unhappy with because, like I said, they should have scouted the centre back in January. They didn't do that. They should have, at bare minimum, have sacked Slot by now. They're not doing that. They're the ones who are persisting with him. They're the ones who are still backing him. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, bro, FSG probably don't even know what goes on at the club. I'll be very surprised if they know we're even playing at the weekend. You know what I'm saying? They're off in America doing their own thing. They've kind of got Hughes and Edwards just here running everything. My hope is that they do start paying attention and they see that it's not good enough. But I'm not unhappy with your higher ups. I'm not unhappy with FSG this season, but I'm unhappy with our sporting directors madly. So I think when Slot goes eventually, I think they also need to go with him, in my opinion. They also need to be sacked along with him. Absolute joke, man. And the fact we're in this situation after we spent all that money in the summer, the fact we're sat here talking about top four, potentially not getting Champions League, annoys me. Annoys me, man. Can't believe Scottish still in the job. Facts, bro. Neither can I. Disrespecting the fans in press conferences. Yes, disrespecting the fans, bro. And he disrespected Klopp too. He disrespected Klopp with the whole Europa League thing, saying that the club stuck with Klopp even when we didn't get Champions League. As if you can even talk to that guy. You know what I'm saying? That guy set everything up for you on our plate. If Klopp wanted to, he could have left us in a bad position and Stock could have been in real shit last year, inheriting a crap squad, but he didn't. And he has the cheek to say that about Jurgen. I'm fucking... And then the fans as well, yeah, bro, talking shit about the fans. Talking shit about the club as well, Boss W. talking about this whole 2 leagues in 35 years. Back in May when we won it, he was talking about it's 2 in 5. But then he changes the narrative when it suits him and he's under pressure. Horror tactics, agreed. Football is shocking to watch. Football is absolutely shocking to watch. You know what I'm saying? Boring, slow, possession-based build-up. Not what I want to see. I've become used to seeing attacking, gegenpressing, high-energy football. Still starting Gakpo. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Use Chiesa, man. For fuck's sake, use Chiesa. Use Federico Chiesa. You don't want to play him off the right, cool, because Salah's there. Fine, whatever. Chiesa's versatile. He can play as a striker. He can play off the left. Fucking play him off the left. You know what I'm saying? Bench Gakpo. Have a front three of Ekatike, Salah, and Federico Chiesa. Just do that. If you don't want to use Rio, cool. But no, he's stubborn. He's fucking stubborn. You know what I mean? Doesn't even want to use Ngumoa, who's a natural left winger. He's so stubborn, Boss W. He's trying to Rio, man. You know what I mean? Doesn't use Chiesa when Chiesa's blatantly a good player. Doesn't use Ngumoa when he's a good young up-and-coming youngster. These are two players that Klopp would have loved, by the way, to have in his team. Doesn't want to use Gomez. Doesn't like to use Endo. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't particularly look like he likes using Jones much. Favoritism. You know what I mean? He's very poor at promoting the youth. I think we've seen that a lot this season. Very, very poor. Just the complete opposite to Klopp. When he was scouted, Boss W, the whole reason we brought him in as manager was because apparently, stylistically, he was similar to Klopp. He played 4 at the back. He played similar football. The fuck were they looking at? The fuck were they looking at? Because he's not similar to Klopp at all, in my opinion. The Klopp team under pressure would be wave after wave of attack. Facts, bro. Facts. Now, if your defenders aren't sharp, the 1 through 1 of the teams are in. Exactly, bro. Exactly. We just bore teams to death, bro, now by just playing the ball around backwards, sideways. You never get that under Klopp. You know what I'm saying? Players like Bradley under Klopp would put a cross into the box. Now, they get in a good position, they go backwards. That's slots coaching, you know what I'm saying? That's why we need a new manager in ASAP. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest. I think, while I credit Slot for what he did last year, winning the league, I think any manager, any half-decent manager could have won the league last year. You know what I'm saying? You bring Xabi Alonso in to replace Jurgen Klopp, he probably wins the league. I'll be honest. Because think about it. Boss W, circumstances would have stayed the same. City still would have had an off year. Arsenal still would have done their bits. We could have, again, been the best of a bad bunch. Luis Diaz leaving too. Those attacking ones he made give space to the strikers, even for Salah by dragging players to our side. Diaz leaving was a mistake, but I don't know what happened exactly. I spoke about this a bit yesterday as well. I don't know if it was him wanting to leave, if it was him not getting the deal he wanted, etc. Apparently, Slot wanted to keep Diaz, but he was overruled by the club. We should have sold Gakpo. We should have given Gakpo to Bayern Munich, and we should have just bought. We should have just kept hold of Lucho. You know what I'm saying? Madness. But a little look ahead to this Forest game. I'm not going to give my preview or nothing. I'm going to do the preview tomorrow. I'm unsure whether I'm going to do it as a live or a pre-record. I'll see how it goes tomorrow. But a little look ahead to Nottingham Forest this weekend. So we kick off away to Nottingham Forest. 12:30 kickoff at the City Ground, I believe it's called. So Forest have got a new manager, Vitor Pereira, I think it is, ex-Wolverhampton Wanderers manager. So they've just sacked Sean Dye, so they've had another manager. That's now 4 this season, which is mad. I don't know what to think of this Nottingham Forest game. I genuinely don't. Diaz is balling out, but he is Brad Danchum. He's scoring for fun, bro. He's scoring for fun, you know what I'm saying? Which again, fucking annoys me, man. It annoys me. The fact that he's over in Bayern balling out and we're stuck with this robot Gakpo. Forest play against Fenerbahce today. Yeah, bro, crazy, innit? Absolutely crazy. But yeah, we play new manager bounce at home. Hard to read on that. That's what I'm feeling in Boss W. So they got a new manager. The manager that they had was the ex-Wolves manager who kept Wolves in the league last year. I'm fearful, bro. I'm fearful. In the league, we aren't great. Our good performances come in Europe or the Cups, the FA Cup particularly. Our last league game was Sunderland. We did win, to be fair. Sunderland away. I'm surprised we won that. Very, very surprised we won that. Didn't expect it. But this Forest game, it just feels like they're going to have a new manager badge. It feels like they're going to be up for it. They're going to be spot fired up and they're going to want it. Forest beat you at Anfield. Bro, they didn't just beat us, they beat us 3-0 at home earlier this season. And ever since Slot's come in, Forest have been a bogey team for us, let's be honest. Last season we won the title, we didn't beat Forest once. They beat us at Anfield last year. And we drew 1-1 at their ground. So since Slot has come in, we've struggled against Nottingham Forest. They've been a bogey team. This season 3-0 loss. And now we go to their ground at 12:30 as well. Oh, how do I feel about it? We have to win. Look, we have to win. A good win against Sunderland. Didn't expect it, to be fair. The fact that we're the first team to beat them at their ground is mental, but whatever, cool. Not a bad performance against Sunderland. I'm not going to sit here and say we were great. We weren't. Sunderland were ass. Let's be honest, they were ass. So I'm not going to get too carried away with it. We won, got a clean sheet. A couple of players look good. But for this Forest game, it'll be a bit different. I don't know how they're going to set up now. I don't know if they'll set up to play a low block, if they'll set up to maybe go for us a bit more. I don't know. Under Sean Dyche, I would have known how Forest would set up in this game. They'd have played a low block and they would have made it hard. Now, not really sure what Vitor Pereira is like tactically. They've got a good team there. I'll be honest, they've got a very good team there and they've got players that can hurt us for sure. They've had a weird season, though. You know what I'm saying? They've had a very, very weird season. Started the season off with Nuno. Got rid of Nuno, brought in Ange. Got rid of Ange, brought in Dyche. Now they've had Vitor Pereira. So they've had 4 managers in the league. You know what I'm saying? In the league season. Their owner really doesn't fuck around. He doesn't. Premier League champions dismantling the unbeaten home run of a recently promoted side. Doesn't sound super right. It doesn't. It doesn't boss the blue. But I think context is important there because you look at the way we've played this season and the way they've come up and been. You know, you never think that us, the way we're playing, we're going to be the first team. You'd put money on Arsenal to go there and win. You'd put money on City to go there and win. I don't think you'd have put money on us to go there and win and to keep a clean sheet as well. All managers with different playing styles too. Exactly, bro. You know, you never know. So we have to win, bro. We're not too far off the top 4, bro. I'll be honest. We got lucky last week because we won our game against Sunderland. Chelsea dropped points to Leeds at home. United dropped points against West Ham away. So I think we got very, very fortunate that our rivals dropped points. I'm not sure who United and Chelsea are playing this weekend, but I'm assuming they win their game, so we have to win as well. So let's just look at Forest's fixtures, people. Let's bring up their fixtures, see how they are looking into this game. Because obviously Dyche did end up getting the boot, so you know they must have been pretty shit. So yeah, Forest's results. Let's have a look why they ended up getting sacked. So let's go. So they beat us 3-0. They went 3-0 there. Lose to Brighton, beat Wolves. Lose to Everton. Yeah, their results haven't been great. Beat Spurs, lose to Fulham, lose to City, lose to Everton, lose to Villa, beat West Ham, draw against Forest, draw against Arsenal. Who else? Beat Brentford away. They've had okay. Draw against Palace, draw against Wolves, draw against Leeds, lose against Leeds. But they've been a bit hit and miss, I can't lie. Arsenal dropping points. Ooh. Chelsea play Burnley, Everton play United. Okay. And Villa play Leeds. Okay. I'll be honest, Chelsea should beat Burnley, Dantrum. I'd expect Chelsea to beat Burnley. Everton and United. Everton away could be a difficult game for United. Everton beat them at Old Trafford with 10 men. And going away to the Hill Dickinson ground. Everton are a team that do cause United problems usually, so that could be hard. Villa Leeds, I think that could be a problem for Villa too. Forest want to play more competitive, not just got to respect 100% Boss W. Shows that their owner actually has standards, in my opinion. Shows that their owner actually has standards and wants to win. So their results have been a bit weird, I can't lie. They've been very hit and miss. Forest draw against Wolves, lose to Leeds, but they beat whatever the fuck that team's called, 4-0. Palace beat Brentford. They've been very hit and miss under Sean Dyche. Lose to Braga, but beat Brentford. Draw against Arsenal, but then lose to Wrexham. Lose to Villa, but then beat West Ham. You know, lose to Everton. narrowly lose to City, beat up Spurs, lose to Fulham, beat that team there, whatever I can't pronounce these Europa League teams' names, man. Lose to Everton, lose to Brighton, beat Wolves, beat Malmo there. I can pronounce that team, and then beat us as well. Before that, they've been a very. Their results haven't been bad, but they've been hit and miss, and I can see why they want to pull the trigger. I can't lie. I'm saying you need to be consistently getting good results if you're in a relegation battle, and they haven't been doing that. And they are in a relegation battle. For me, what's the league table like for both sides? We'll have a look at the league table in a minute. Boston Blue, I'll bring it up. But yeah, Forest, they need to be consistent because I believe Burnley and Wolves are definitely gone. It's going to be out of them and West Ham who goes down. So someone's got to be consistent. They play us. They play Fenerbahce. They play Brighton. Then they play City, Fulham, Spurs, Villa, Burnley, Sunderland, Chelsea, Newcastle United, Bournemouth. So they haven't got an easy running. They haven't got any. Let's look at the table. We'll bring the table up, Boston Blue. So Liverpool are we're sat fucking sixth in the table. Okay, that's nice to know. Defending champions sat sixth. That's great. So we're sixth. They are 17th. So, yeah, I believe they're not too. West Ham aren't too far behind them. So they're 17th. We're 16th. They need the points, Boston Blue. They need the points. At the moment, they have a gap over West Ham. But if they don't get good results, and West Ham, who have kind of picked up recently, that could easily switch up. So I think Wolves and Burnley definitely going to go down. And I think it's going to be out of these two, Forest and West Ham for 18th spot. Spurs are going down. I don't think they will, Boston Blue. I can't lie. I don't think they're going to have a good season. I think they'll probably be mid-tableish again, but I don't think they'll go down. If they do, Jesus Christ, that would be an absolute shock. But I know a lot of people want them to go down, but I don't think they will. So yeah, they're 17th, we're 6th. On paper, we should win, but going away to these grounds, especially when they're in relegation battles, that they'll make it hard for us. So yeah, they play Liverpool, they play Brighton, they play City, they play Fulham, they play Spurs. They haven't got an easy run-in coming up, so yeah, got to feel bad for them a bit. So yeah, we'll look at our fixtures as well. We may as well bring up our fixtures too. See who we got coming up. Boston Blue, you can have a look at our fixtures as well, bro. So yeah, again, like I said, we've been very hit and miss, man. So we play Forest this weekend. My bad, it's a Sunday game. I was sat here thinking it's 12:30. It's Sunday at 2 p.m. I'm sure it was 12:30 and they moved it. I'm sure they moved it because it was a 12:30 kickoff. But yeah, we play on Sunday, so that's interesting. Sunday 2 p.m. So we play. Okay, so look at this. We play Forest away, West Ham at home, Wolves away. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest, everyone. That should be 9 points right there. Forest, West Ham, Wolves. That should be 9 points on paper. I'm sorry. Anything other than 9 points there is unacceptable in my opinion. Must be because Forest are playing tonight. Yeah, it was moved because I'm sure it was a 12:30 kickoff originally. Should be 9. It should be, bro. Boston Blue. If this is at 9 points, yeah, Forest away, West Ham at home, Wolves. These are fucking relegation scrubs. Respectfully to them, they're relegation scrubs. They're going down. They're probably going to go down. They'll probably survive, but they're still crap. If this is at 9 points there, I don't know what to say. I genuinely do not know what to say. We should be beating Forest away, although it will be hard. Should be beating West Ham at home, although it will be hard. And Wolves are down and out. You know what I'm saying? They're just playing for pride at this point. So we should be winning that. However, I don't even trust us to get 9 points from these next games. I don't. Genuinely don't. After that, we play Wolves. So we play Wolves back-to-back as well. So we play Wolves here. Then we play them in the FA Cup. So that's mad. We then play Spurs at home. Brighton away, Fulham at home, Everton away. That's going to be a fucking tough game as well. First game at the Dickinson ground. They're going to make it hard. Palace at home. United away. See Boston Blue. You see why I'm saying we might not get top 4. Look at these last 4 games. Back to back at Wolves' yard. Yeah, man. Look at these last 4 games, man. That's our running. You see now why I'm not confident we get top 4. Manchester United on the 2nd of May away at Old Trafford. Chelsea at home on the 9th of May at Anfield. On the what date is that? On the 17th of May away at Villa Park. Exactly, bro. Jesus. That is our last. And Brentford. And don't be sleeping on Brentford at home either. Last game of the season. That won't be easy. Fuck me. Look at our running. You know what I'm saying? Look at our running. Look at our fucking running. Are you? If any Liverpool fan is saying they're confident for top four, they're mental. I'm sorry. They're mental. And to play them fucking at the end of the season as well, literally. We've got to get 9 points if we want to get top four. And we're not going to do that. Us £1 billion bottle jobs where to Gary Neville, Watkins FC and Brentford have been cooking. Well, Brentford are doing well, I can't lie. They're doing very, very well this season. Incredibly well. I thought Brentford would get relegated, I'm not going to lie, Boss W. I had Brentford going down, but they've replaced Thomas Frankwell and they're doing well. Doing bits in the top half of the table. But yeah, our fixtures aren't easy, man. We need to be getting more. We need to be getting wins, as much wins as we can if we want top four, which is unlikely. But yeah, look at where Brentford are in the table. Let's have a look at the table properly. I didn't look at it properly there a minute, so let's have a look what we got here. So we got Arsenal top of the table. How the fuck do I scroll across so I can see that? Okay, so Arsenal top of the table. Villa are third now. Okay, Villa are third. You got City second. United fourth. United and City are on the same losses. Ironically, Villa third. Chelsea, Liverpool. Okay. Brentford, Boss the Blue. You look, boy, they're literally right there in 7th place. Everton as well. Brentford are cooking, man. They're doing their thing. Can't even discredit them. Low key, they're doing their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Sunderland are falling after a bit. Sunderland were right up there in 6th for a while back. You know, now they're behind Newcastle as well, which is mad. Bottom of the table. Yep, Spurs are right. If they're training, Spurs are playing a dangerous game, man. They're playing a dangerous game. Fuck me, they're playing a dangerous game, all right. Yeah, relegation battle is gonna be an interesting end to the season, bro. Relegation battle is gonna be interesting. Top 4 race is gonna be interesting, and the title race is gonna be interesting too. So, for a neutral, there's a lot to look up for still. There's a lot to look out for if you're a neutral fan, at least, should I say. So, yeah, that's that. That is that. But for the Forest game, I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling confident. I'm not feeling confident at all. Brighton, dog shit. Brighton are not good, man. They're not good. I mean, the way Brighton play football, you're always going to get chances of getting them. You're always going to get joy against them. We've played them twice this season. We beat them with relative ease. It's the way they play football, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're too naive, which is why they lose a lot of the time and get slapped. But yeah, Forest away. Not too confident, but then again, not too nervous either. I don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up because I don't trust us in the Premier League. We can turn up and be good. We can turn up and be crap. I don't trust us, end of the day. I don't. I genuinely do. So, yeah, it'll be very, very intriguing. But we need the 3 points. You know what I'm saying? Let's just have a look at Chelsea's games. Let's have a look who Chelsea played this weekend. Chelsea played Burnley. My bad, Dan told me. So Chelsea played Burnley at home. They're going to win that. They're going to win. They're going to beat Burnley at home. United play Everton away. That could be a potential banana skin. That could be a difficult game. But I would probably back United the way they're playing to win that. Kirk is coming into his own now. He is. Kirk is coming into his own a bit more. He's looking very good. Very, very good. Recently, I think he's been solid as of recent weeks. The last bad game I think he had was probably Bournemouth. Bournemouth away when we lost 3-2. Other than that, he did very well against Marseille. Locked up that scumbag Mason Greenwood with a relative ease, so well in there. He's been looking good. You know, slowly. It took Kirke's time. He wasn't someone who just came in and hit the ground running. It's taken him a while to get up to speed, but now he's looking good. He's looking good, so credit to him. I'm saying keeps it up, and yeah, Fingers crossed he keeps it up. So we'll see what happens with Kirkes. I think all the new signings, Boss W, to be fair. I think Wirtz, I think Ekatike, I think Frimpong, and I think Kirkes have all kind of started to gel now. They've all started to gel. They've all kind of started to come together and play well as a team. And not only are they gelling with each other, I feel like they're gelling with the rest of the team that's already been here as well. And you can now see that the team's starting to have a bit of chemistry. Taking a while. It's only after Christmas this has really started happening, but we are looking better. Well, the new signings are looking better. That's the only positive I take. Isak. Isak. To be fair, I think before his injury, Isak was actually coming into his own as well, looking decent. Isak, when he comes back from injury, is going to have a hard task displacing Ekatike because, for me, Ekatike's got that number one striker spot nailed down. Isak comes back after his injury, which is probably next season now. He's going to have to work incredibly hard to come back into the team and displace Ekatike. But I believe in Isak. I think he will come good, and I think he will be a good signing in the long term. Yeah. Hopefully, we can find some consistency in the Prem because we need it. We need it for the top four race. We need it just to get points on the board to finish as high up as we can. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Would you have bought Isak knowing how good Ekatike is? I would have, yeah, Boss W, because at the end of the day, we would have been short a striker anyway. You know what I'm saying? We had Diogo and Darwin last year. Sold Darwin. Lost Diogo tragically. So, if we'd bought in Ekatike, Darwin still would have been sold. And of course, Diogo is no longer with us. So we would have only had one striker. And you need two strikers for cover in case something happens. So maybe we should have gone for a lower tier striker. You know what I mean? A lower tier striker that could have come and played cover to Ekatike. Maybe we shouldn't have gone for Isak, but I still think we needed two strikers regardless because of the situation that happened in the summer. But yeah, people, been a great stream again. Been a great stream. I'm going to call it a day today. Gone for 1 hour and 7 minutes. Not bad. Appreciate everyone in here, bro. Appreciate you, Boss the Blue, man. Big up yourself for being in here. Big up Boss the Blue. Big up yourself, man. And who else was in here? Big up Dan Chum as well, man. Big up to all of you guys. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, I might head off, bro. I'll be back tomorrow with more Liverpool-related content, more football talk content, talk a bit more about the game and everything. But yeah, speak to you all soon, man. Big up to everyone in the building. Appreciate Boss the Blue being in here. Appreciate Dan Chum being in here. And yeah, man. Great stream, bro. Have a good one. Big up Boss the Blue, man. Appreciate you being in here. Big up yourself, man. But yeah, I'm ahead of people. Back tomorrow with another stream. So stay tuned. But yeah, Liverpool Profit out. Speak to you all soon. Big up yourselves. Bye for now. Up the Reds. Let's go. Peace.